Good evening, everyone. It's Wilhelmina and the sheep after dark. Jim is off at karate, so the sheep said I better get cracking and get caught up on some videos. So here we are. I have a few things, but first I'm going to do a couple little flip throughs. I have been working, and I've been working on, I've been working on journals when I should really be working on getting this room organized. I've been trying. This is another one of my little tinies, and it is a book called The Yellow Chick. And this is just a tiny little buckle on a ribbon. And I had a hard time taking this book apart, but it was not in very good shape, so I did it. This cute little tag I made. And this pocket is covered with vintage lace that came from Jody's mom's estate and vintage fabric. And then I did go ahead and use washi tape on the edges of all the little pages because they were just too fragile. And they really are still, they're in good shape, but they're still fragile. So I couldn't really put a whole lot of pockets and stuff inside. And oh my gosh, here we are again with the Roman numerals. I want to say it's 1960-ish, maybe before. I will have that in the listing because this will be up on the website. When you see this, it should be up there. And I will link it below. Oh boy, I might have glued this shut. Anyway, I'll fix that. You will be able to open that, or there will be a similar one on it. So like I said, I couldn't put a whole lot of pockets and things in here because the pages really would not have been okay with that. But all the pages are here. I did not have it in me to cut them up. And you will see that I generally use old paper everywhere I can. However, I've been challenging myself to use my stash. And in my stash, I do have several, well, I have quite a few pads of paper, the scrapbook paper, I think you call it, that I have accumulated over time from the thrift stores. So this is one of those. And of course, you know, Ladybug Girl will be in every journal from now on, hiding somewhere. And this is vintage fabric for a tab. Vintage wallpaper. This is a vintage picture from a book, Reader's Digest. Scrapbook paper. Onion skin, maybe? I don't remember what that paper is called. All I know is it's pretty and it sounds fun. So thank you everyone for coming back. This cute little fellow, he's all dapper with his dog. And this crazy quilt paper is from Angela at the Traveling Crafters Printables. And I hope that everything is going well for you all. I don't know where this paper came from. It feels like handmade paper. But as you probably guessed, my stash is ridiculous. So I do have things that I don't remember I have. More of the scrapbook paper. Oh, come on. I have a little easy or heavy on the glue. This is one of my papers where I had gotten some new ink stamps and I wanted to make sure they all worked. So this paper is part of that. So all of the pages are in the book. More of that paper. Trader Bunny. Says, "Don't cry, Mama Chick." This, I think, is from a Dollar Tree package of paper. And again, of course, I did not write down how many pages, but there are over 20 pages. And you never know, by the time it walks out of the house to its new place, it may have more. You just never know. Because once I know who's buying it, if I can get to know someone a little bit, and then I can kind of jazz it up for that person too. Looking for a piece of paper. And I have been having fun working with color. This says Sweet Pea. Ugh. And yes, it is a tuck spot. So it's new for me to really concentrate on color, or a certain color, or oh my gosh, like staying with neutrals and things like that. So this has been fun. And wait till you see this next one, because it's a big one. Back to my big books. I made a little dangle, which still needs some charms added to it. And this is, you aren't going to believe this either, because when I started this, I had just made the mistake on that big brown scrapbook journal where I put the fabric on the wrong side. I started this one, did the same darn thing, sorry. And I just took it off this time and covered it up. Not my plan, but I was not going to just put it away. Made myself finish it. And this is the Kitten Twins. It's a Rand McNally giant book. It has most of its pages in it. And again, lots and lots of ephemera. This is only part of what you'll see. I always include my template, so if you want to add pages, you've got the template for the pages. And I'll show you a couple things. I kept the binding, and I made little tag things with it. So that's part of the book binding. The spine. This picture, I tried really hard to find out exactly who this gal is, and I even started out with her name. Ella, I want to say, I can't really read the looks like Pittman, Burnett Jett, and she was 16 years old, 8 months, when this picture was taken of her in 1907. And I did look for her, and I found 2 women with that name, but I could not nail down which one she is. I think that she is the one that married a doctor, and they moved from northern Wisconsin to Chicago, and that was where they lived their life. And I really couldn't find much about her after she got to Chicago. I am going to keep looking, so whoever ends up with this journal, I'll always send the research I had when I do find it. The other Ella was a farm family, and she had 6 siblings, and in 1910, which would be 3 years after this picture, she was still living at home with her dad, and her mom had passed away. And the only reason I know that is because she's not on the census anymore with her family. So she will be coming with this journal, and like I said, if I can figure out any more about her or her family, I will definitely include it. Probably going to run out of time, but this was also from around 1950-ish. And these are vintage applique. They were the cutest kittens. I have to make sure you can see what I'm seeing. I do believe you can. Lots of my old antique ledger in here. This one, I believe, 1878. And it's commission cash. So, and look at that, a tag that says, what can you do with rickrack braid? We should look and find out what they used to do with. This is a tag off of a pillowcase I recently moved into strips. It's from another kid's book and some paper that I found a while back. And tried to stay with the cat theme. Kind of. I had so many cool pictures of cats. This is from a book that was around 1900. I think it says 1910. And this page is from a penmanship manual. I thought those were pretty. And this pocket. And I love this ribbon too. Some mushrooms. This is vintage wallpaper. And there's Ladybug Girl and a sheep. How much better can you get than that? And this is some more of the book. That's another one of my papers with the ink pads. The sheep got out their stamps and did a little bit of stamping on some of these. This is vintage trim. And I just made this page from a bunch of pictures from old books, probably 1900, even 1890 maybe. And then there's checks behind it from the banking papers that I got. Naughty kittens. My cats take off with my yarn that I spin too if I don't watch out. This kitten, it looks like my cannoli cat. And he is a good boy and he always has that pensive look. I'm not sure what you're doing, but this paper is from a ledger that had all of this beautiful ink staining on the pages. So I made pretend, well, I guess it is Franken paper, but again, the sheep had their stamps out. One of these days I'm going to get my machine moving again. This is an iron-on. I forget what the name of it is, but they come in the little packets and you would iron this on and then do your embroidery. And this page I just popped some tissue paper onto it. This is from a book, a linen book. I thought both of those were cute. This is another page of Franken paper. And this page is scrapbook paper, plus this is from Angela at the Traveling Crafters Printables. Another thing I don't often use, and I need to start using my stuff. Scrapbook paper, pretty paper. I reinforced all of the holes that were punched, and since they got a hold of her hat, I thought that there probably should be some sewing type things involved, and that's just a ladybug flying through. And this is from an art book. This is from Edith Holden in German. Yes, this Franken page. This is a like 1890s page from a kid's book. This is for calligraphy and just some fun paper. And then I figured too, sewing questions would be good, right? Should have sew that hat back together. Here's some vintage fabric. And then here's some silk information. This is from a farm ledger, a vintage farm ledger. It's the weather record. And look, vintage hats on the Gibson girls. And then here she is with her poor hat. Another piece of ledger that says, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." That was Eleanor Roosevelt. And in all things of nature, there is something of the marvelous, from Aristotle. I fussy cut this off of a page of an old seed book, I believe it was. And this is scrapbook paper. This is from 1901 from a kid's book. And Carrie the paper monkey had sent me some beautiful snippets that she made. And that's that. And then another bit of Franken paper, and then another bit about a hat. Maybe she could use that to fix her hat. And this purple is new, but looks like vintage. It's new lace. And that came from England. I picked up some things from a gal over there because I hadn't seen them before and I wanted to try them. This is the other journaling card. That's the rest of the spine from the book. This is wallpaper. And then there's the two little kittens right there in pockets. So that is that one. I still need to do some dangles and pretties on it, but it's going to be listed for sale on the website before this movie goes out. Movie. I'm still calling it movies. So watch for that. And I hope that you have a really good weekend planned. We're almost to another one. I can't believe that. And the countdown to shearing day has begun. So I'll be losing my mind over the next few weeks. The 21st, our shearer fellow will be here. And that will be an adventure. Oh, looking at this trim, have you ever seen anything like this where that's rickrack in that trim? And I do believe it's hand sewn. I'm not an expert on that. I just know what looks cute to me. But anyway, so that's what's going on here. It's warm enough again. It's about 40 right now. And Louise and Jolly are outside, keeping an eye on everything and waiting for the coyotes to run by. So things are pretty quiet in this house for the moment. I appreciate all of you being here and putting up with the shenanigans and the chaos. And I just really, really appreciate all of you. So have a great weekend. I have smooches from the sheep for you. And I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. So thanks for putting up with me. Good night.